So I think mindfulness at this time is it's really fitting because very often we forget about our present. And I think the whole thing about life is to try and live in the now. And we're so busy sometimes, so caught up with life and all that's going on around us that we're everywhere. We're thinking about the next thing. But we really need to spend a bit more time with the now. This moment to moment time, being aware of your thoughts, your current thoughts and feelings, and like you would talk about your own when you're doing meditation, because you've spoken about meditating at different times, and I find that one of the things I notice is that when you meditate, it's one of the best practices of mindfulness because you bring yourself back into the present. And so with mindfulness, it's about connecting with your body, your feelings, your thoughts, even sensations. And sometimes you could go as far as maybe your call it your immediate surroundings. So if you could kind of create a space around you and create that kind of surrounding. And sometimes if you try to push outward, like if you're meditating, for example, and you're in control and you're pushing outward, it could kind of feel a bit rough, and you could bring yourself back in a little bit closer to yourself and bring it back gentle. And you could nurture that. You could nurture that, and it gives you an invigorating feeling. I mean, I'm talking a little bit about meditation here, but we are looking at the whole area of mindfulness when we could really connect with our current self or current time. Do you want to share anything, especially from your meditative practices on mindfulness?
Yes, when I meditate, I'm aware of my thoughts, my emotions, my feelings. So they keep coming up, but I'm trying not to lose myself in the past or present, in the worries. So it's really for me about not having judgment, whatever comes up during meditation, just let
Yes.
it be.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, you touch on it is the thing with meditation too is that you have to let go a little bit. Um, One of the things I used to practice a lot is to let my thoughts flow.
Yes.
And I wasn't so much into meditation. I think it was more prayer and silent time, connected with my spiritual side, my spirituality. I would let the thoughts flow. And especially if I'm doing practicing visualization, um, I would just let the thoughts flow. But I get to understand later on that when I add or control my breathing, I could actually meditate and do the same thing. And like you said, not get lost because sometimes when you let the thoughts flow, it can help. It's sometimes I have this outer body experience where I could actually sit and I could see me doing stuff. And it's like it can go far away and I have to remind myself or bring myself back. And sometimes it's like if what like I'm watching a television, like a television film. Like I'm seeing me doing stuff and having conversation and stuff. Yes, that's an exceeding part of my and mindfulness is when you can bring yourself back. No, um, like I say, maintain the moment instead of straying away so far away. Is what mindfulness does is that it brings us back and makes us aware of our thoughts, what's happening now, instead of going outward so far. Yeah, you can actually feel, like I said, feel our thoughts and everything, feel our senses, feel our surrounding. But it also, like you said, it also is about accepting, uh, what you're thinking. Pay attention to something that you're feeling. Don't judge yourself. Like you mentioned that as well. That's one of the things I find with it. And I think in sharing this as part of the Knowledge Cube word for the week as well is that I want to remind people that, especially you as part of the community here, I want to remind you that we need to really come back to now. And very often, thing with the knowledge cube is that it helps people ignite their passion to exceed expectation. But that passion is something that sometimes goes dormant. I look back at things when I was younger, things I wanted to do and I've actually pushed aside. And we look and we think, why did we do that? And sometimes we still have that passion for it, but it lies dormant. When you practice that sense of mindfulness, it helps you connect, and sometimes it awakens some of these things. And you think, why am I not doing that? And when I speak to clients, sometimes what I find is that they talk about things like careers, or they have kids. Life just took maybe a toll, or took them on a different direction. And when you could really practice, because what it is really is that people don't practice these things, mindfulness, or pay attention. And I think it's one of the things I really want to encourage people today, especially you in community, is that we need to get back to connecting with our present, and to really be aware of our immediate surrounding and how we're feeling. And in this way, we could really express ourselves, and really be true to ourselves. Because one of the things we know is that the easiest person to lie to is ourselves, right? And I like to say that we can fool the world, but we can't fool ourselves. We can dress up, we could put on our makeup, we could do a good scrub, clean up, look great on the outside, but inwardly, we could feel rotten. And if we do, eventually the cracks start to come, and the lights start to get dim, and sometimes we don't even recognize ourselves anymore. And we think that we look the same, or we behave in the same, or we be in the same. That after that start happening to us, other people start seeing it, and we're not even noticing it. But yeah, we need to really spend more time with ourselves and in our present time. And this is not to say you don't have dreams and aspiration and goals, but it's just once you have a dream, aspiration, goals, I mean, it's like the third step. First you make a decision, and then you have an acceptance, and then you set your goal. But you have to just set your goal and leave it. Come back to the now, and say, hey, you know what? What is the next thing I need to do? What's the next best thing, or the first thing I need to do now? It's not achieve the goal. You need to do it the first step, the first action. So yeah, I'd like to thank you for coming on today and sharing a bit about mindfulness. And if you have anything else you want to add, that'd be great as well.
Yeah, just one more thing I would like to add, how mindfulness helped me with reducing stress, having emotional balance, and physical and mental clarity.
Mm,
It's really helped
beautiful,
me.
beautiful. And you heard Monica, she's experienced it. I've practiced it, and I continue to practice this whole idea of mindfulness. The things I do now on a daily basis, I try. I think I'm down to 85%, but I'm pushing it back up to 95% is to practice gratitude, and to every day I write out at least 5 things I'm grateful for. And some of the same things could be popping up every day. Sometimes simple things as a good night's sleep, my good health, things like that. My finances. There's so much things you could be grateful for, but yeah, that's something I do on a daily basis. So yeah, that helps with your mindfulness as well. So, all right, Monica, thank you very much today,
Mhm.
and yeah, I look forward to us catching up on our next session.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye.